Hey there, nice to see you. I'm Dooder, and welcome to the den. Today I kind of wanted to talk about something that's been talked to death for a long while now in the paleo community, that being Jurassic Park's raptors. Now, of course, if you've been in any way involved with paleo media or dinosaurs in general for the past 20 odd years, you probably already know everything that's wrong with the raptors in the Jurassic franchise. The size, the faces, the scales, the hyper-intelligence, the eyes, the wrists. Yeah, that's sort of been beaten into the ground at this point. If you are unfamiliar with, all of that, I'll give you a crash course rundown of it real quick. If you'd like an undoubtedly better and more in-depth analysis of the verbal barf of a reiteration that I'm about to give you, I highly recommend watching these videos by Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong, Edge, and Northo2 to get a much better and more eloquently put breakdown of these animals. Okay, so basically Velociraptor wasn't this scaly man-sized monster so much as this feathery knee-high teeth chicken that lived in an area more akin to the middle of Arizona than to that of somewhere in Costa Rica. So less like hellish humidity and more like just hell itself. They also weren't these hyper-intelligent killing machines that gave Sam Neill the heebie-jeebies after saying the last name of Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, no, they were pretty much just as smart as your average turkey or goose. That's not to say that they were dumb, far from it, but yeah, just make of that what you will. So, okay, they got a lot wrong with the Mongolian death kiwi, that much is evident. But that's been talked about so much it might as well have been slapped on the Oscars. Rather, what I really want to talk about, being both a fan of Jurassic Park as well as someone who loves to see dinosaurs represented properly in media, is what the Jurassic franchise gets right about the raptors. With the lieu of Jurassic World Dominion coming over the horizon, and Prehistoric Planet introducing a whole new generation to their own version of Walking with Dinosaurs, what a better time to talk about it. So yeah, let's excavate everything up with the sickled snipes we all love, and take a look at what Jurassic Park actually does right when it comes to the Velociraptor. So one of the first things that I noticed not a lot of people talk about when it comes to Jurassic Park raptors, and one that I've always thought was really cool, are the vocalizations they make across all 5, soon to be 6, films. Now before I go any further, yes, I'm aware that these sounds are made by splicing together and hybridizing multiple living animal calls, including those of animals that have syrinxes and vocal cords. Syrinxes being essentially the bird equivalent to vocal cords, and vocal cords being vocal cords. This is important to acknowledge because no evidence of syrinxes has been found in non-avian dinosaurs. That evidence being preserved tracheal rings found within and around the neck cavity. This extends to dromaeosaurs like Velociraptor. So while birds and mammals are able to make tons of crazy vocalizations, dinosaurs probably had more in common with animals that lack syrinxes, such as vultures, crocodilians, cassowaries, and other rat-type birds, and to an extent, lizards and snakes. So, if dinosaurs didn't roar, then why am I talking about how Jurassic Park raptors sound right? Good question. Essentially, well, yeah, raptors didn't scream like this. They may have made more similar-ish sounds to these. In reality, a lot of other noises that the raptors make in the films are actually pretty spot on. Their hisses, growls, chirps, and barks are really similar to their modern living relatives to an extent, and to what we thought they sounded like. And that's not by accident. A lot of science actually went into the development of the first few films, the design of the creatures and their behaviors. And while other aspects of the creature design have since become outdated and then stubbornly overused. Anyway, while other aspects of the design of the raptors are outdated or inaccurate, the sounds still hold up pretty well and do quite a service to lending a voice to a long silent animal, which I think is pretty awesome. So, other than the noises of the raptors, another iconic thing the Jurassic franchise does right in terms of raptor behavior comes down to what they do most in the film: hunt. Now, again, not everything the raptors do in the films are accurate. But something that is regularly shown being done are the iconic pounces and subsequent disembowelment of some poor extra or side character in these films. I'd argue this could actually be interpreted as a pretty close representation of the raptor-prey restraint predation model. If you're unfamiliar, raptor-prey restraint, or RPR for short, is a predation model that was first proposed in a study done in 2011 by Denver Fowler, Elizabeth Friedman, and John Scannella of the Museum of the Rockies, and Brian Cambick of Brown University. The study looked at the metatarsal bones of the Dromaeosaur Deinonychus. Basically, these fools looked at the toes of a raptor, and what they were able to determine is that the foot morphology of most of the Dromaeosaur family is really similar to that of raptors. Well, no, not raptors, but raptors. Or birds of prey, the eagles. So, essentially, the extinct raptors, shockingly, had a lot of the same characteristics as the extant raptors. And since these two groups of animals had similar foot structures, it's thought that these analogous structures led to analogous feeding behavior. So, this is where raptor-prey restraint comes in. The full-fledged theory around the whole thing is that instead of using its iconic sickle claw as a slashing tool, it would be used as a hook that the animal would anchor itself onto its prey using its well-feathered wings and stiff tail to flap about and keep balance on top of their squirming food before eating them alive. Wow. Yeah. An arguably more brutal way in which these animals may have hunted than to what's shown in a lot of media. And okay, obviously Jurassic's raptors don't have feathers nor wings to flap to keep them balanced on top of their prey like they would have had in life. But aside from that, pretty much everything else that the raptors are shown doing, biting down and tearing apart their prey, grabbing and hooking onto struggling bodies with their huge claws, and targeting sensitive areas on the body, is completely in line with RPR theory. So whether this is just a happy accident or a purposeful design choice on the part of the filmmakers, either way it still gets some brownie points for me. So good job, boys. You got two things right. While I'm by no means saying that the Jurassic franchise is an up-to-date and accurate depiction of dromaeosaurs, far from it, at least there's still some specks of gold in the pile of dirt that is their version of a raptor, right? Look, I'm sure there's more things that the series as a whole manages to get right. And though it really doesn't make up for the gargantuan amount of things that are now either outdated or out of pocket, I still think that what is done right should be given some credit. Everybody needs some. So the next time you're all gung-ho about hating on some design aspect or action that a raptor does in the Jurassic franchise, take a step back, take a deep breath, and think to yourself, wow, 2 things were done right about these guys. How frustrating. Before continuing with your valid complaints about this perpetually incorrect, yet extremely entertaining and fun juggernaut of a series that just won't quit. Hey, thanks for watching. This is kind of the first time I've ever done anything like this, so if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. Also, comment any recommendations for videos you'd like to see from me, as well as your own thoughts and criticisms on this video. If you want to see more from me, then why not subscribe and leave a like? I'm just starting to get into the swing of the whole video making thing, and that kind of support means the world to me. If you want to see more videos on the subject of Jurassic Park and their raptors, I once again highly recommend checking out the videos and channels I mentioned previously in this video, as well as this video from Clint's Reptiles, and just check out and subscribe to his channel. While we're at it, these channels too, they really inspired me to make this video and my channel itself. So yeah, go over and give them all some love and let them know Dooder sent you. And with that, I've been Dooder, and thanks for visiting the den. I'll see you when I see you.